this little bull flag, and it's popped out of that and consolidating. Bunch of small doji-like spinning top candles here. Got a MACD that is kind of flat, not unexpected with the flat doji-type candles here. The RSI is running flat, but it's deep into the bull zone. So one view of this might be to say that you've got a measured move that hits up like this again from that first move down up to a possible 39, 39.50 area. But looking at the options, there's also some sizable open interest at the September 37.5 calls. So that might be a cheap way to play for a bump up into this range. Those are going offered at 25 cents today. Looks like almost 200 of them have gone off versus open interest of just over 2,000, 2,160. The risk on the downside is that this kind of short consolidation area here, this bounce area around 35, there's also a lot of open interest there on the call side. 2,225 of those, 2,250 of those. But the open interest is definitely skewed to the call side, so it might be worth something looking at for a quick risk reward trade just up to this area, maybe even higher.
Those calls at the 37.5 strike, it looks like the last ones went at 15 cents, but was that the bulk of the volume today, or was it a little bit higher than that?
I see the last one's at 20 cents, which is kind of mid.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get some more clarity on that.
Okay. Now, one thing I look at here, looking into October, it still looks pretty heavily skewed to the bullish side, and your 37.5s there are only 35.45, and with about 12,000 NOI. Would this be another one or one of those potentials for doing the October and then selling the Septembers if we get the pop?
So you would only want to do that if it broke out. You wouldn't want to put that calendar on initially?
I would not put it on initially, personally. I would like to see it get up there because I believe with the amount of open interest in September on both the 35s and 37s, the chance of getting up there is good. So I'd like to sell them on the way. Or we could put a time limit to where we give it into Tuesday or Wednesday, and if it doesn't pop by then, we go ahead and sell them to recoup some of the premium.
I would disagree. I'm ready to go on it. For at most 30 cents, I think there's a good, it's a decent risk reward there. You've got, as you point out, some solid upside potential on the Octobers. This stock pays a 3% dividend. Last dividend was June 23rd, so you get it somewhere around late September, perhaps. Doesn't report earnings till October 30th, so after the Octobers expire. Rather than bet the 25 cents for a couple of weeks, 45 cents minus another 15, so an extra 5 cents for an extra month on this looks like a much better deal.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to the probability of it being able to get the 37.5 in 2 weeks. versus giving yourself that extra month of expiration.
Yeah, buying a month for a nickel sounds pretty cheap to me.
Well, I agree. But all I was saying is I think it gets there, but it might not get much through it because of the OI that's in there, and that's why I would do it in a two-step. Basically, paying 1% is what you're paying at 35 to 40 cents on a 37.5 call. But I'm fine with doing it now, all in one piece. I just think you can grab more value out of it.
How do you guys feel about the open interest in October at the 25 put strike?
Yeah, it's kind of large, huh?
I mean, whoever has opened those, they haven't, I guess, found a spot to sell them, or they were done some time ago, and they just wanted protection, or they got it cheap.
Yeah, and someone certainly could be trapped there. As there's, I don't see a bid for even the 27.5s or the 30s above that.
Yeah, that's true. There's no bid at 30s, right? Well, my vote would be the October-September 37.5 call calendar. Super cheap to participate, and you've got 6 weeks to get priced to that point.
Would either of you consider selling the 32.5 October puts as well?
I guess if you think that August low is going to hold, and you've got an account where you can sell premium, I'm probably okay with that, but you would be back down into that gap fill area if that happened, and certainly would definitely have given up the 50 simple moving average if that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I may have that as a potential step if it did decline. Maybe I would do that to recoup the cost of the call calendar if I felt like it was really going to hold. That would be the only reason I would look to do that. Initially, I wouldn't worry about it because that call calendar is very, very cheap.
Yeah.
And you can do that call calendar in just about any kind of account. It won't take any margin. So.
Yeah. I think the other thing to put on the list as you get into September expiry as well is that it's flipping that to 37.540 called spread in October. Some clients could take that 40 call in October and sell it now if they've got if they can do margin, but otherwise keep that on the list as a possible second step as well at September expiry.
Sure. Now, the one scenario that would not be good for a trade like a call calendar is if you wake up one day and it's had a 20% gap up. It's going to be hard to get that 20 cents back, but it's nice knowing that's what your defined risk is.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see a lot of scenarios where I don't like that call calendar here.
Yeah, and if you look at the 35s right now, so the September, October 35 call calendar, that would be in the money. If you had to liquidate that now, you'd, worst case, pay a nickel to do that.
Yeah.
That's already $1 in the money.
Good point. Do we have any other comments before we wrap this call up?
Let's take a quick look at the weekly on it. See if that changes things at all. Well, that measured move seems to have some importance.
Oh yeah, sure does.
Brings you just about to that high from May 2013. And starts to make it look a lot more like a cup and handle playing out. Let's see if I still have this yellow.
Okay.
There's your cup. A handle. And that certainly gives you a lot more potential to the upside. 25 to 35, 36. So, and that's talking about maybe move up to 47 eventually. So, have to at some point devise a plan for what to do to roll up or out the October 37.5s as well if it keeps going.
Well, the 250 strikes are certainly nice to have. A little more flexibility when you need to do adjustments.
Yeah. So it's really nice on the weekly, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, but you could also certainly get a larger handle as it gets towards those highs that could help you make that adjustment. If it gets up towards that 39.50 to 40, those highs.
Mm-hmm.
You might get a larger handle there that allows you to devise that second step and or sell some more premium once September's over. If you did want to go into January.
Yeah, by the time September's over as well, we'll have November options out there too.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Let's wrap it up.